Hello everyone, how is everyone today? I am doing a new challenge today, I should say. It happens to be my birthday month, so I am going to try to challenge myself to see how many I can make in 3 days. I want to make mermaids for the summer, and these are going to be donated to charity. They go to children that are in hospitals being treated for cancer. So I'm going to challenge myself to see how many I can get done in these 3 days. I almost finished my first one. Here she is. The pattern is by the Friendly Red Fox. I just love it. I'm also challenging myself because I'm using leftover yarn to see if I can make some dolls out of these small balls of yarn that I have. This one, when I started out, weighed 8/10 of an ounce, so I'm going to see if that's enough to do the skin on my next doll. But this is my first one. The only thing I need to do for her bins are done. Her little top is done. I just need to make her a flower for her hair. That's the only thing I need to do on her, and I'm going to finish one more doll and then I'll do both of them at the same time. It's a lovely pattern. I just love it. There's some different modifications for the hair. This happens to be my favorite, the messy bun look. I really like this look, so we're going to go with that. I'm not quite sure what color hair will go on the next one. I do have some more of this yarn, so it may be another dark-haired doll, and then we'll see where we go from there. But I'm going to see if I have enough of the yarn for the skin. If I don't have quite enough, I'll show you how much I have done so far. And as you can see, I don't have that much to go, so maybe I'll make it with this little bit that I have left. If not, I did have another similar color, wasn't exact, similar to this, that I thought I could do the part that goes underneath the hair. So that'd be kind of a little way of getting it done and using up this yarn. But I love this color yarn. These are actually big twist yarn that I have left over, and I love this color. I have difficulty finding kind of a nice skin tone like this, and this was a baby bear from Big Twist. I did get one skein from the new Loops and Threads, and it's similar, if not exact, to this. So, but I'm challenging myself to use up all these small balls of yarn that I have hanging around. So I'm just working right now on crocheting around, and I have to do 4 more rows and just crochet all the way around until I start the decrease rows. So I'm going to show you some of that and how I do it. I have started doing the under over method of crocheting. I really like the look of it. I know they recommend different combinations. Different people have different preferences. So I've kind of tried to go along with this one. It seems to work well, and it comes out nice and, little kind of a X stitch there, and it just looks really nice and neat. So what I mean by doing that under and over, I'm going to put my crochet hook underneath the top, and then I'm going to grab it from underneath. And then when I pull up my loop, the next one, I'm going to grab it and pull it forward like that. So let's try that again. And I always use a little piece of yarn for my stitch marker. Really need to count. I still need to count all the time. I'm not sure if anybody ever stops counting, but I have to count to keep track of myself to make sure it comes out beautifully. But pull it underneath your hook like that. And then this one is actually going over my hook. Whoops. So over my hook. This is actually my new crochet hook that I got with my last order. This one's the Susan Bates, and it's a number 4 crochet hook. I tend to use a smaller crochet hook sometimes than what's recommended. For this chenille yarn, I'm not sure. They maybe recommend a 5. I'm not positive. But I like using my 3.75, or this one I found is a really nice size too, because it makes my stitches nice and close, and I don't want to see any holes in my work. The blue came out beautifully. So I like this size. This is really my preference, is to use this size. So we'll do that one more time, and then under, pull it through, and then it's over my hook. Under, and then it's over. And I like it because this has a bit of a point here, and it grabs the yarn well. I mean, it is a little bit on the thicker side, but it's not a real bulky yarn. So to me, it's perfect. It just comes out really nice and tight, but not too tight. I do have to be mindful of my tension so that I don't crochet too tight. But it's been helping me to get a little bit better at doing my crocheting and making it look really nice and neat. So I've been working on that. So I'm going to keep going with that. I have 4 more rows to do on that. Then I'll start the decreasing, and I will pop back in and let you know if I had enough yarn to finish her entire head. I'm hoping I do. Here is where I'm at so far. This is the amount that I have left from playing Crochet Chicken. And I wanted to show you this one here. This is not a big twist yarn. It's something I had left over. I'm not sure what it is. It's a little bit thicker than the big twist. And that's actually what I did this dolly in. So she's done with the leftover of this color. And then this doll here is actually done with a big twist leftover. And that's what I have left for this one. And what I did decide to do, because I needed to do the arms, is once I got to where the hairline was going to be, it's going to be covered, I ended up switching from the big twist color I started with to the small leftover piece that I had from the other doll. So that's doing the top of the head here. And then I did, they call it a neck strengthener. Friendly Red Fox calls it a neck strengthener. Some people call it a third arm, but you're basically making something like the shape of an arm. And what you do is you put it, before you crochet the entire top of your doll, you put it down into the neck and then sew back and forth. I take a tapestry needle and I sew it back and forth so I know it's not going to move in there. I ended up doing that in a different color, kind of a peachy color. As long as it's not something that's going to show in a similar color, it's all right to use something different like that. But it's the same size as what an arm would be. And you put it down in the middle, and it really helps strengthen that neck on the doll. I really don't like it when the doll's head wobbles. I like it to be nice and secure. So that's a really good tip on how to do that. I really like how it comes out. So that's what I have going right now. I have the arms are all set. I have this much yarn to do the fins, which I'm sure will be enough. And then I need to pick out a small, I might actually do it in the same color, in the blue, for her top. I usually do it in an alternate color, but maybe I'll try doing that in the blue this time. That would be kind of cute. And then I'll sew her arms on, sew the fins on, and make her hair. And I still haven't decided on the color. I think it's going to be the dark brown. Out of what I have for yarn, I think the dark brown might be the best option for this a little bit darker skin color. I did look to see what I had bought in my new purchase that I just did from Michael's. And this is a similar color, but not really that close. It's their sepia, it's called. And I would use that for doll hair or a bear. I really would like to find some more options. I'm going to look into that for the new yarn that they're doing with Michael's to see what other colors I can find. I like the dark brown. This one happens to be the Premier Simply yarn, I think it's called, from Dollar Tree. it does shed a bit, and it's not, I guess I wouldn't say it's my favorite yarn to crochet with, but I love the look of it. It's one of my favorites for the look, but you really have to just be more careful when you're crocheting with that, because it will shed a bit and it'll break. But once it's on and secure, there's no shedding at all, so I'm not really worried about that. But that's definitely on my list, is to look into some more varieties of brown colors. I would think that you'd be able to find a little bit more just because of people making bears with it, but I really have not found a lot of choices at this time. But I'm really looking at what Michaels is carrying, and when I went to the store, I didn't find anything there at all either. Although they did have some yarn on sale. I went down with my $10 coupon, and they had some yarn on sale down there. So with my $10 coupon, I ended up getting these two yarns, and they were $5 each. And I'm not sure if they're discontinuing this or it was a yellow sticker, and they had quite a bit of it. For $5, you can't go wrong. There's a lot of yarn there. This one's a Loops and Threads Chenille Home Slim, and that's very close to the Big Twist. Little bit thicker, but it's got the same feel to it. It's got the same sheen to it. So I bought that for $5. And then this one here is the same, Chenille Home Slim by Loops and Threads. And that feels a bit thicker to me than the purple one, but two great buys for $5 a piece. So keep checking your Michaels to see what they have in the store, because you're going to be able to find some sales, I think, now that they're reorganizing what they're doing for yarn. So keep checking back, but that was really a good deal. It cost me nothing. I got the 2 skeins, and I was real happy with that. So we will work on more mermaids, and I will see how this comes out, and I will be back soon. Here are the individual dolls all finished. This one I had a little bit darker skin color. This was a slight bit heavier. I don't remember what brand this one was. It was a leftover small ball, which I have a very tiny ball left of that. Not really much for anything else besides what I've just done. This one is a little bit different skin color, and she has a sepia colored Big Twist chenille for her hair. I did notice that I'm running out of hair colors. This one works. This one is from Dollar Tree, the Premier yarn from Dollar Tree, and that one works for hair also. And I did make this last one. This is hair from Dollar Tree Premier yarn in the orange color to look like the little mermaid. And she's got her little curls and kind of a side bun on her. It didn't use too much yarn. If you did all of the hair all the way around, it probably used quite a bit of yarn. But yes, these were all yarn that I had in my stash, except for the sepia colored one was something new. But I think they came out really cute. The kids are gonna like them. And they're very cuddly and squishy, and with the strengthener in their neck, it does hold their head very firmly. I really like that a lot. And I use the embroidered eyes so that it can go to a child of any age, and you don't have to worry about the safety eyes. So I think the kids will really like them. And so they have their crayons to go with it and their coloring books. So I will be making more of these, but for now, there's my girls. Here they are. They're all finished and ready to go. I got some lays to go with it, some coloring books, princesses, mermaids, and some crayons. So they are all set, and I will be delivering them to the AYJ Fund Smiles program this weekend. So there you have it from my 3-day challenge, and I made 3 mermaids. I'm pretty happy with that. So I will figure out my next project and see you soon.